Get started. I hereby call the March 16th, 2026 Planning Commission meeting to order at 6 p.m. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Glenn? Commissioner Allen?
Here.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Here.
Commissioner Collins?
Here.
Commissioner McCabe?
Here.
Commissioner Fonoff?
Here.
And Commissioner Scoggin let me know he would not be able to make it today. We have a quorum.
Okay. Thank you very much. Approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda? All right. Any objections to approving the agenda as written? Seeing and hearing none, the agenda is approved. Pledge of Allegiance. Would Commissioner McCabe please lead us in pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Consent agenda. Minutes. Regular meeting minutes, March 2nd, 2026. B, introduction for public hearing, quasi-judicial matters, there are none. C, introduction for public hearing, legislative matters, Resolution 2026-02, a resolution of the Matanuska-Susitna Borough Planning Commission recommending approval of an ordinance repealing MSB 8.25, water pollution control, and MSB 17.55.020E in their entirety. Staff, Alex Strawn, Planning and Land Use Director. Public hearing date April 6, 2026. Resolution 26-03, a resolution of the Matanuska-Susitna Borough Planning Commission recommending approval of an ordinance amending MSB 17.80, non-conforming structures, to repeal the notification process and fee section. Staff, Alex Strawn, Planning and Land Use Director. Public hearing date April 6, 2026. Are there any objections to approving the consent agenda as written? Hearing and seeing none, the consent agenda is approved. Committee reports, none. Agency staff reports, none. Land use classifications, appears there are none. Audience participation, 3 minutes per person for items not scheduled for public hearing. If there's anyone on the phone who would like to speak about something that is not on the agenda for public hearing tonight, please press *3. Caleb, is there anyone on the phone? All right. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak to anything that is not on the agenda tonight? Okay. Seeing and hearing that there are no persons to be heard, is there any objection to closing audience participation? Any objection at all? Okay. Audience participation is closed. Public hearing quasi-judicial matters, there are none. Public hearing legislative matters, Resolution 26-01, a resolution of the Matanuska-Susitna Borough Planning Commission recommending approval of an ordinance repealing a general standard of MSB 17.30 conditional use permit, CUP, for earth materials extraction activities. Staff is Alex Strawn, Planning and Land Use Director. Mr. Strawn, please provide your staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Once again, this is Alex Strawn, Planning Director for the Matsu Borough. This ordinance, let's see here. As you like to say, who sponsored it. This ordinance is at the request of Assemblymember Sumner, and it repeals one of the 5 general standards for approval within our gravel code. And that standard is that the use is not inconsistent with the applicable comprehensive plan. And the purpose of this ordinance is almost really just cleanup in nature. Comprehensive plans are it is required that all of our rules that we have, all of our zoning laws, be in accordance with an adopted comprehensive plan, according to state law. And they are a set of policy goals and recommendations that are implemented through land use ordinances. And what this provision of code does is sort of make the comprehensive plans themselves law, which was not the intent, nor is it what is provided in state law. And so it gets rid of that requirement, and really, in order to implement the comprehensive plans, zoning law should be adopted that match those comprehensive plans. So I know I talked a little bit in circles there, but we have a couple of examples. We have some very old comprehensive plans. For instance, we have a wide variety of comprehensive plans, so there's a question of which standard within which comprehensive plan applies. And then, so this was brought to the attention of the Assembly, and they were very quick to sponsor a piece of legislation to get rid of it. So that's what we have here today, and I'd answer any questions you have.
This is Rick Allen. So my concern, I guess, is would this eliminate the requirement for a public hearing in front of this body if we were to pass this resolution?
Absolutely not. So gravel code is actually quite an extensive code. It's between 1728 and 1730. There's a lot of different standards that apply. There'd still be a conditional use permit process. This is just one standard that would be removed, that we essentially treat the comprehensive plans as law. And an example I give for the reason for this would be the Connect Fairview Comprehensive Plan, which says no gravel pits are allowed outside of industrial areas. It says that in the comprehensive plan. And then they have a map showing sort of like a zoning map of the Connect Fairview area. And it has one property that is industrial on that map, and it's currently a junkyard. So there's a de facto prohibition of gravel pits within the Connect Fairview area if you apply this standard strictly.
Good. So I guess I'm trying to, what has been the problem that we're trying to fix here?
So just like that example that I gave, where we have a very old comprehensive plan that essentially eliminates the ability to have a gravel pit in it. But really, this is the intent when comprehensive plans are written is not that they are law. It is in the intent that laws are based on the values expressed within that comprehensive plan. This provision that is in the gravel code essentially makes the comprehensive plans law, like self-implementing, which is never the intent of our comprehensive plans in the first place.
Okay, didn't we just create a whole new comprehensive plan that you made reference to old ones? Wouldn't the new ones supersede the old ones, or how does that process work?
So we have Title 15.24 that lists all of our adopted comprehensive plans. So we have one that's a borough-wide comprehensive plan that was last adopted in 2005. So it itself is getting pretty old. But there are many other community comprehensive plans, as well as, like, say, the economic development plan falls under the umbrella of the borough-wide comprehensive plan. So we have many different comprehensive plans that fall under the umbrella of the borough-wide comp plan. And you'll notice when we write regulations, we try to cite how that regulation that has been written is in line with the comprehensive plan, because that is truly the intent of the comp plan. Is you're supposed to establish the policies, goals, and values of a community, and then adopt regulations to reflect those policies, goals, and visions of the community. So,
Commissioner McCabe, so I was watching the Assembly meeting last week, the one I missed, and where they were talking about the 17 different comp plans, and they're all different. And we've run across this before where some of the citizens were upset that the comprehensive plans are not binding. So the resolution or the solution for that would be to create a SPUD, right? A special use district where they would have to form that, and that takes a little bit more effort. But this just kind of makes it uniform for everybody. And it's not that those opinions which are encompassed into the plans won't be considered when somebody brings forward a proposal for a gravel pit. It's just that it won't be an arbitrary requirement anymore.
Yeah, so there's a lot in that question. I guess, so those 17 community comprehensive plans are not all the comprehensive plans that are in the borough. We have other comprehensive plans that apply borough-wide. And so a special use district is one way to implement a comprehensive plan. But we also have just general zoning rules like setbacks and things like that that are also implementing the comprehensive plan. Like the River Management Plan is actually been adopted as part of the comprehensive plan, for instance. So you had a second part of the question I was hoping to answer too. But I guess comprehensive plans can be one point of information in a whole suite of information that is being considered by the Planning Commission. But the way this is written, and this is the only conditional use permit that says, it's only CUP that I know of that ties the comprehensive plan as a standard of the code. All the other CUPs do not do that. So yeah, and when it does that, it sort of bootstraps the comprehensive plan, all the 30 plans or whatever we have, and makes them regulatory when it comes to gravel pits. I don't think that was the intent. If there are things within those comprehensive plans we want to make as a standard for gravel pits, that should be adopted into code. It should not be referenced through that section.
Through the chair, if I may add to what Alex has said. This is Erin Ashmore. I'm assistant borough attorney. Everything Alex has said is correct. I just wanted to also add that comprehensive plans generally are not a reliable standard for quasi-judicial matters. They often have internally conflicting or inconsistent goals, which is okay from a policy perspective, but when you're looking at standards to apply to an individual permit application becomes problematic. So for example, in the borough-wide comprehensive plan, not including the host of other comprehensive plans, goal E3 is to create an attractive environment for business investment, and goal PO2 is to protect and preserve natural resource areas. And those are potentially conflicting standards. And so by incorporating the comprehensive plan into a standard for a CUP application, you've really not incorporated any standard at all, because you can hang your hat on any number of standards within that comprehensive plan. And I also just wanted to point out that there are remaining code provisions within the gravel pit CUP requirements that still give protection to input from members of the community, that's not lost here. One of the sections says that the use will preserve the value, spirit, character, integrity of the surrounding area. And another one talks about how the permit will not be harmful to the public health, safety, and general welfare. So those standards remain in place under this draft ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Does anyone online have any questions? Any... No, but don't we have... Mr. Collins is online?
No, none at this time.
Okay, thank you. All right. At this time, we will proceed with opening the public hearing. If there's anyone on the phone who would like to speak, please press *3. Sounds like we have a few people. All right. Everyone, whether you're on the phone or in person, you'll get 3 minutes, and we'd ask that you please state and spell your name for the record. Thank you. Whoever's up on the phone can go ahead, please.
RIST. Hi, good evening. My name is James Christie, James Christie, Christie. My family have been longtime property holders in the Mat-Su Valley. I want to make some comments in opposition to this, and I want to start by focusing on what the ordinance actually does, because I'm not entirely sure that's being fully reflected in the discussion so far. So, page 1, the memo says that the proposed ordinance repeals MSB 17.30.060 subsection A1. When you look at that section, what it requires presently is a finding that the use is not inconsistent with the applicable comprehensive plan. This is not a minor tweak to that standard. That is the standard. The Assembly will recall about 3 years ago, many residents showed up to oppose a gravel pit in the Bellardi area of West Lakes. And that standard that is seeking to be eliminated is exactly what allowed the Planning Commission to ask whether that belonged here. Without this ordinance that's proposed to be repealed, that question disappears entirely. So under the current law, residents can say, this conflicts with the comprehensive plan, this isn't what the area is supposed to be. That argument was important, and under this ordinance, it's gone. The decision really shifts from, is this appropriate for the neighborhood, to does it meet zoning rules, setback, and technical criteria? That's a fundamentally narrower review than is currently in place. And effectively, it serves to eliminate some of the protections residents and property owners, non-commercial property owners, have over their communities. The memo says that the change maintains the current process, but what it actually does is removes a required finding that changes the outcome and not just the wording. So I'd respectfully ask the Assembly to take a closer look at what's being repealed, and before moving this any forward, I, for one, am in opposition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Colleen Vague, last name V like Victor, AGUE. I'm also in opposition to this for many of the same reasons as the previous caller. But also one of the reasons that gravel pits is a conditional use is because it's one of the most intrusive uses that it surrounds an area. Not only does it affect safety, and it also affects travel and commerce and other things that are involved in the area, but it just generally, on the speaking terms, has a very negative effect to all surrounding areas for a large area of space, more than the 600 feet that's used for all of that. I think as people in the community, we don't get to sit on a lot of these boards. We're not elected to a lot of these, like the Borough Assembly and that kind of thing. So our comprehensive plans is the only way that we really have to voice our opinion about what we want to have happening and going on within our communities. It's people get together, they set these up. This is not something that the government imposes. This is something that the people in a community come together and decide the direction and the planning that they want within their community boundaries. And so I think to dismiss this large and very invasive CUP is to blatantly ignore what people want within that community area. So I would hope that you would take this into great consideration and really consider what it is that the people to whom the areas of you represent, what they're asking for and what they're seeking when they put these community plans together. So thank you for hearing me, and I appreciate the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
My name is Jade Laughlin, JADE LAUGHLIN. I'm the owner of Central Gravel Products. But I'd like for the Planning Commission to consider this as Max Sumner's written it. The problem you guys are running into in the valley is the same problem that I talked about 2.5 years ago when we put in for our CUP that we got over at Engstrom and Bogard. You guys have an area out off of KGB that there's no gravel access out there, and the trucking and your expense is going through the roof. And the comprehensive plan for that area was written in the early 80s, and it's locked out any gravel pits out there, which in turn is driving up costs for the borough residents of that area and their RSA districts for road improvements and such. So I think you guys really need to it's not necessarily loosen up the restrictions, but let's look at the need for the area a lot more specifically than, a few homeowners that are upset about it, which I get. Like I said, when we were doing our CUP, the last thing I want is a gravel pit around, but I also don't want to pay the extra taxes and all of that involves that. And I also don't want to see 50 side dumps on the road versus only 10 when we can have a closer gravel source to our jobs and stuff that we need. That's one of the driving factors of your guys' cost increases right now is we're trucking gravel from Trunk Road all the way to the training fire station at Vine and Hollywood. It's becoming cost ineffective when we can easily open up a couple little gravel pits out there sensibly and in a smart area. But on the other side of that coin, there's always land out there that needs to be leveled off. And I've talked about this with Stephanie Nowers and other people on the assembly, including Max, is we need to make a conditional, not a conditional use permit, but like a one-time use permit where somebody can come in and take a few thousand yards off of a property to level it for development and be able to sell that to another place or take it to a job site. And the hoops you have to jump through to do that is just remarkable. I was really kind of shocked what it took for us to get our CUP. I think there's a better way to do this where it makes sense for everybody. Everybody's going to have to sacrifice a little something. Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Sherry, Sherri, Rusher, Rusher, and I'm opposing this application. I worked with Meadow Lakes Comprehensive Plan. We had 13 plus members, spent months and months and months with large meetings gathering the information that the community wanted, where they wanted it, and what they'd like. Being out in a rural area or Meadow Lakes, we don't have a city or borough codes to go by. So the Planning Commission is us telling the Assembly what we want. I feel the Assembly should respect and listen to the members of that community and not be able to change a comprehensive plan that was created by that community. And the elephant in the room is gravel pits. A couple years ago, our comprehensive plan stopped the development of a large gravel pit in our business district with all the things you don't want from a gravel pit. The traffic next to schools, the gravel trucks going on a very bad road. It was just the best thing. And it's not that I'm objecting to gravel pits or sales tax on gravel, definitely for that. But the community and their comprehensive plan needs to be able to say and have input on where they want it and how they want it. And this completely takes that away and leaves it open for gravel pits anywhere. Please do not approve this. And thank you for your time and listening. Bye.
Thank you.
Hello. My name is Patricia Fisher. I'm totally confused after hearing what Mr. Strawn said tonight. I mean, does this take away the impact of a comprehensive plan or not? Mr. Strawn was the person that told me when we fought a gravel pit in Meadow Lakes in 2021 that we should hang our argument on our comprehensive plan. We did that, and the gravel pit was defeated at that location. So going back to what I wrote down to say tonight, I will go and say that that pit that we defeated would have impacted water wells, air quality, noise, traffic, and caused a dangerous conditions on the roadway and at the Park Sylvan intersection. At the I've already said that. Our comprehensive plan says it discourages large-scale industrial or commercial uses, specifically such as large-scale gravel extraction in the core area. The Planning Commission voted against issuing the CUP, which we were fighting in 2021. The applicant went on to ask for a change at the Board of Adjustment and Appeals, but they also voted against the permit. Now, here we have another attempt to take away what is a very unique protection for our community. You heard several other people speak about it. We don't have a government. We depend upon the Planning Commission to help us in situations like this. Our comprehensive plan was written over a period of 4 years by a community panel. There are 15 other comprehensive plans in the borough. So what do you mean? All of a sudden, this comprehensive plan is going to be ignored? Why do we spend 4 years developing the plan only to have it yanked out from underneath us? The argument that gravel permits should not be singled out as a sole exception is a weak argument. Gravel pits have a tremendous long-term impact on a community. It could be argued that a comprehensive plan should apply to all permits being reviewed, but that is not the issue here tonight. That is not what the law says, the resolution says. So I urge you to vote down this resolution. Our comprehensive plan provides a strong argument for protecting our community. It should not be removed from the code. Thank you.
Thank you. Caleb, is there anyone else on the line? Okay. Please make sure you're not on mute. Okay, thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Amy Shackle. Hello, Amy Shackle, AMYSCHACHLE. I'm just calling to ask you to not pass this ordinance because it takes away the voice of the community that has already sat down and discussed what we want in our community. It doesn't necessarily say there can't be gravel. It's just saying that we don't want it and why we don't want it. And we did fight this off of Sylvan, and this was a big key because they wanted to put a gravel pit that would be smack dab in the middle of a bunch of residential neighborhoods on a bad road, like Patty said. So I'm just asking you to respectfully not pass this. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else, Caleb? No? No? Okay. All right. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak? All right, sir, if you could please come up and turn on the mic and state your name and spell it for the record, please. Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. Yeah, my name's Robert Coffin, Coffin. I've been a contractor in Alaska for over 40 years, worked from one end of the state to the other in 72 different villages. I'm a member of the Meadow Lakes Community Council. The comprehensive plan that we put together, as you've already heard from a few other people, reflects what the local people want, okay? We don't have zoning and we don't have any other means for expressing what we want in our community, okay? It spent 4 years, like Patty said, a lot of time, a lot of effort went into this. It wasn't something that was just thrown out there and you know, a bunch of guys just got together and gals got together and wrote it up. It went through the time, it went through hearings, it went through a lot of effort so that we got what they wanted, okay? It restricts the location of gravel pits and because they are intrusive. But there is a place for them. I mean, God, I own a gravel truck for crying out loud, okay? There's a place to put the pits and there's a place to not put them. In the middle of a couple of subdivisions to say, now we're gonna throw a gravel pit there, maybe 30, 40 years ago, it would have been fine. But the area is developed right now and there's still a lot of areas, you know, in the valley that have gravel that are protected enough by a buffer of, you know, a couple hundred acres that you can put a pit there. Now, I'm not sure, and I'm hearing stories about other comprehensive plans that totally restrict the development and it making it hard for the local people that have access to gravel. I don't think that's right. I think maybe looking at a zoning plan or something like that where it addresses the availability of gravel to the local area is a better way to go. But until we have something that can control the development of our area where we live, I think the comprehensive plan is what we have. I mean, it's what we're stuck with. It's what the local people have put together and put the effort into and gone through expressing their opinions to make this happen, okay? So to take that and to say, well, you guys wasted all this time and all this effort and stuff like that, forget about it. I'm glad you did it. Now we're gonna just throw it out and not go by it. Doesn't make any sense, okay? We have to have input as far as what's happening. It's like you were saying, you know, the gravel pit, you know, the one guy was saying, well, he went through a lot of effort to get the permit to do it. Yeah, that's fine. It should take that much effort to do it. And yes, I mean, you're always going to find one or two people that object to it. But boy, this is a big valley and I know there's a lot of gravel around here. And so it's got to be some way that we can make it so that it's accessible without upsetting the neighborhood or putting it in the middle of a bunch of houses or something like that. And until that time, I think what we're stuck with is these comprehensive plans. So,
Thank you, sir.
again, I oppose it.
Thank you. Someone else online? Okay.
Hi, my name is, can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Alice Knapp, ALICE, Knapp, KNAPP. I am a property owner near Christensen Lake in the Talkeetna area. And I am the current secretary of CALA, which is the Christensen Lake Area Land Alliance. And we were formed after a gravel pit near our lake, which is recreational, and near XY recreational area, a gravel pit was started, and we had an incredible amount of noise from the extraction of this gravel pit, and it went on till late at night, and it was quite a horrible thing for our lake. And so we are very much against this repeal of this ordinance. Public input, I think, is really important. Talkeetna and Matsu has invested a lot of money in their recreational properties, and that brings a lot of activity. Just this past week, the USIC race was at the Talkeetna area Lakes Park, and if gravel pits like the one that we have basically kept from continuing, if those spring up again without public notice, it will really detract from the environmental and recreational opportunities in Talkeetna area. Thank you.
Thank you. Caleb, anyone else on the phone? Okay, thank you. Anyone else in the audience that'd like to speak? Okay. All right, then, Mr. Strawn, I guess I'll give you the opportunity to respond to any of the comments that were made. I'd specifically like to ask you, though, do you know anything about the issue was brought up about KGB specifically? I'd be interested to hear more from your perspective about that if you know about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, first of all, I don't know if you want to close public hearing before we move into discussion. We probably should have a motion on the floor too if we were going to start.
Okay.
I mean, I'm happy to answer questions.
I was just at the section here I'm just going by the script here, and it said that it was staff's turn to respond to public hearing.
So that's normally for quasi judicial matters, but yeah,
Okay.
happy to answer questions as well.
Okay.
But
All right, then we can move on from that then, I guess. Then at this time, is there a motion for resolution 26? Okay, then we'll go ahead and close the public hearing then. That's all right. That's okay. All right, then at this time, I'll entertain a motion for resolution 26-01.
Commissioner McCabe, I'll make a motion to move 26-01.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner McCabe has made the resolution. Can I get a second?
Commissioner Carpenter, I'll second it.
Okay, the motion is seconded by Commissioner Carpenter. Discussion. Commissioner McCabe. Any discussion? Is the movement?
When I was reading through the material beforehand, I highlighted a section because it stood out to me. Within Title 17, it says earth materials extraction is the only conditional use permit subject to a specific comprehensive plan consistency standard. And it says that Alaska Statute 29.40.040A provides that comprehensive plans are to be implemented through the adoption of land use regulations. When a conditional use complies with the applicable land standards, the use is considered consistent with the comprehensive plan. The borough's comprehensive plans are adopted as guiding policy documents and are not self-implementing. So that's what this resolution is attempting to do, is have this align with the purpose of creating a conditional use plan in the first place, or a comprehensive plan. If I'm not understanding it, maybe Alex wants to provide a little bit more input.
I think that was a pretty good assessment there. And I guess I will just reiterate what Deputy Attorney Ashmore said of this does not take away the standards for reclamation, or it being in character with the surrounding community, that it not be harmful to public health, safety, and welfare, required compliance with local, state, and federal laws. It still has setbacks from wetlands. It has, we look at traffic considerations, like dust mitigation. All of those standards are not being touched. I guess if there are standards within comprehensive plans that is missing within our gravel code, the thing to do would be to put that in there. But this standard alone is pretty. It opens a big door for a lot of different comprehensive plans to be taken as law and not as guiding principles and policies for various communities and the borough as a whole.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Commissioner Carpenter, this is a really tough one. I used to drive CDL, and I think the more time you have those those trucks driving through town, the more neighborhoods they drive through, you have them up to speed with gravel shifting, you have gravel in the tires and whatnot. The closer you can get to getting that gravel in the truck to the job site lessens the amount of time they're on the road. And I don't think there's anybody that's lived any time in the valley that thinks KGB is a really safe road. And the longer that they're up to speed on that particular road, I mean, I understand that we want to think about the property owners, but sometimes there's like things that we don't think about. There's consequences to the choices we make. Like Fairview Loop, there's 2 or 3 gravel pits just off of that road with in the corner section there below Walmart. And it's a tough one, but we may do. And I just like, so people further down KGB or past Meadow Lakes don't want it in their area. So we're going to drive through Fairview, through Connect, down Hollywood, through town, through this neighborhood to get it to them because they don't want to use the gravel pit that's closer to them. I'm just like, there's more than one issue here on the table, it seems like, maybe.
Other comments? Commissioner Collins.
Commissioner Collins, through the chair.
Go ahead.
I think this, my question or for this discussion is maybe directed more towards Alex. Just for clarification and my understanding of what's being proposed here is that it sounds like we have a comprehensive plan, and referring back to the Joint Assembly Planning Commission last week, that there's comprehensive plans that don't have a lot of, for the term that was being used, teeth, and it sounds like this one has maybe too much bite in the sense that comprehensive plans are intent to be a guiding principle, but in this particular comprehensive plan, it is actually being referred to almost like a zoning issue, which is now in hindsight at the time of this comprehensive plan may have been designed to act as a zoning principle for this particular area. And, you know, people, you know, or in what's coming in question now is maybe we need some zoning laws and regulations that seems to be coming to a head here. But is my understanding that this comprehensive plan actually has a lot of teeth in when it comes to gravel pits and approval and denial, where the comprehensive plan needs to be more of a guiding principle and then is adapted to law and requirements, as opposed to a comprehensive plan being the law and requirement.
Through the chair. Yeah. Alex Strawn, Planning Director. So almost correct. So this is not about one comprehensive plan. This is about a standard within the gravel code that makes all comprehensive plans become law and have teeth, essentially, when it comes to gravel pits. So there are some comprehensive plans that are more specific, especially to gravel, than others. And so those ones would certainly have more teeth in this regard. But yeah, this standard makes all comprehensive plans have teeth, essentially, when it comes to gravel.
Thank you. I guess my comments, I've been on this commission for a long time, for many years now, about to term out. And we have debated and discussed many gravel pits in this number of years. And I'm sure I could count on one hand the number that we denied. I'm just looking at this and like thinking to myself, what is the problem that we're trying to solve here? I mean, that's what I keep coming back to, because it seems to me folks who want to have gravel pits get their gravel pits almost all the time. And I completely understand the argument, because when I got to this body, I did not understand how this worked, but I totally understand the argument that you need to have gravel pits in the vicinity of the places that you're building, because it's not great to have trucks running all through the valley full of gravel. It's extremely expensive. It provides safety issues, all that kind of thing. But there's also, I mean, balance to be had in terms of the quality of life for the communities that exist in this valley and the neighborhoods. And I think, you know, as we've heard from members of the public, that people put a lot of time and effort into developing these comprehensive plans. And I don't think they did that thinking that it wasn't going to have any kind of teeth. It wasn't going to make any real difference. I don't think they thought this was some symbolic gesture. And, you know, they're right. People who live particularly in more rural parts of this valley, I mean, they don't have a whole lot in the way of local government. And so these type of organizations and opportunities that's their voice. That's their chance to give their voice about what their community ought to look like. And, you know, I did want to know a little bit more about this KGB situation, but I'm just not aware of, you know, big chunks of the valley that are just a desert of gravel that nobody can get any gravel anywhere near there. I mean, I understand that was a problem a number of years ago, but I think that we've gone a long way to fix that. There's been a ton of new gravel pits that have opened up in the last 10 years. So, you know, I do think there's something unique about gravel too. I do think that that's just kind of different than other things. You know, there's something different about having a gravel pit right by your neighborhood, right by your house. That is, I mean, I don't think we can just kind of pretend that it's just like everything else, because it is different. So I just, you know, when it comes to a close call, I'm almost always going to be in favor of more community input, more community involvement. And that's what I sort of feel like we have now with this is, you know, the people of communities get a chance to give their advice and say what they want. And this is a mechanism that gives some teeth to that. So I think we're fine as it is. I don't think that we need to change the ordinance. And so at this point, I'm a no. Thanks.
Commissioner Carpenter,
Yes, sir.
can you explain it again, Alex, what you meant by like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, like give an inch, take, you're saying if this stays the way, it's going to give teeth to virtually everything. Or
So I'll give the example that I gave to the assembly a couple months ago, and that is the Connect Fairview comprehensive plan, and that particular comprehensive plan, and it's a large area of the borough in the Connect Fairview area, and it essentially says any gravel pit that comes in has to be in an industrial area. And then it has a map and it shows one industrial area and it's a junkyard. And so so when people come in, so what you don't see is, so when a gravel pit comes to the planning commission, there's a staff report and a resolution. We've done all the notification and all the back and forth between us and the applicants. What you don't see are the ones that don't make it to you. And when somebody comes in with a gravel permit application in the Connect Fairview area, we're going to have a discussion with them. Hey, your comprehensive plan says this. Here's the standard of code. It's going to be really tough to overcome that. There is your comprehensive plan has essentially made it impossible to get a gravel pit in this area. And so people often see that and see a hill they're not willing to try to climb, and they pull out. So I understand that's just one example of a comprehensive plan that sort of restricts gravel because of the nature of the plan as well as this section of code. So I mean, I guess, I don't know if that answers your question, but it essentially, there's just many other, I can go to, I think it would be helpful for us to go to 15.24, which is the section of code that has the comprehensive plans. So you can see kind of what we're dealing with. So this is 15.24030B. It says the comprehensive plan consists of the following elements, which are incorporated in this chapter by reference. If elements of the comprehensive plan conflict, the element most recently adopted shall govern. So here's the list of comprehensive plans, and if we scroll to the bottom, there's 48 comprehensive plans. The most recent, which you probably recognize, the Bogard-Selden Corridor Access Management Plan. I don't know if that answers your question, but
So you're kind of saying like, for every one that we see that comes before us, there's probably 2 or 3 that we didn't see, or ish. Like there's a certain number that.
I don't know the number of
Okay, so I don't want
people who withdraw applications compared to the numbers that go forward. What I'm saying is this list of 48 comprehensive plans, with this provision of our gravel code, essentially that plan that goes in has to be in accordance with these 48 comprehensive plans. Now, a lot of them are community comprehensive plans that are specific to certain areas, and so they wouldn't apply. Or, the community safety action plan probably doesn't talk about gravel or whatever. But it essentially makes these plans that have been adopted law when it comes to gravel pits.
So I just wanted to clarify though, because I think I misunderstood me when you first said, in terms of the ones that we never see, so it's not like these were like administratively denied. This is a situation where you said to them, hey, you got to know that you want to open a gravel pit right next to this neighborhood. And these people have said in this neighborhood, in their comprehensive plan, no gravel pits right next to the neighborhood. So your chances are nil. You may not want to spend the money on going forward. Something like that, right?
Sure. Yeah. So it's both. Okay. I have denied administrative permits in the Connect Fairview area because of the language in the comprehensive plan. But also there's what we call the free no, where we go over the plan and say, whew, you got a hot pepper right here. You can go forward with this, just know that there's going to be this that you're dealing with. And sometimes people will turn away because they don't want to try to spend the money and the time to put together an application and go forward.
Okay. I'm glad I asked because it is a mix then.
It is.
Okay.
Correct.
And any idea on the ratio there? What would you say? Sorry, that's maybe a bit much to put you on the spot.
I just don't know the ratio there.
Okay.
Yeah, to be honest.
No worries. I'm sorry, we closed public comment already, sir. Any other comments by anyone on the dais? How about Mr. Collins? Anything else?
No, thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. So I think at this stage we can just do a voice vote. Yeah, there's an objection. So yeah, we can just do or however you'd like to do if you want to use the machine.
It'd have to be voice because we have one on the phone.
Okay. Oh, that's fine.
So I'll start with Commissioner Collins, and this is to approve the resolution. So a yes would be to approve, no would be to
And I guess I should have said, I'm sorry, I apologize, but you just reminded me. I should have asked, is there anyone that wanted to offer any amendments? Is it because right now we're doing an up or down on as written. So I should have asked, is there anyone here that would like to offer any sort of amendment?
Commissioner McCabe, I sort of have a question. Would there be another way to handle this? Like, we're just doing a resolution in support or against, and the assembly still makes the decision ultimately. But you suggested that it might be something that could be addressed by changing the actual code instead of having the conditional use permits contain this information. Would it be possible to suggest that the assembly come up with some kind of language that addresses this concern in the borough code and at the same time repeals this section so that it's all contingent. They can't repeal the code unless they address it in the borough code. Or they can't repeal this section without addressing the concern in the borough code in the other section that you recommended.
I'm not sure I understand the question. So, I mean, are you, so I suggested that it could be updating that comprehensive plan, could be a fix for at least for that area. But what this does is it's a one liner. It just removes that one line of code that's a standard. That's what this ordinance does. And this resolution that's before you supports repeal of that one line.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure, did I answer your question? Because if I didn't, I would love to, I think we need to explore it. Okay.
I mean, I just want to make sure, Commissioner McCabe, are you asking that we sort of send a message to the assembly that we want them to do something else?
Never mind.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm on top of what's going on. Is there any other discussion based on that? Any other comments? Okay. So then, yeah, we can go ahead and vote, and it'll be just a straight up or down on the ordinance as written, since no amendments were offered, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Commissioner Collins?
No.
Commissioner McCabe?
Yes.
Commissioner Glenn? Oh, sorry, Commissioner Allen?
No.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
And Commissioner Fonoff?
Yes.
The motion has failed with Commissioner McCabe, Commissioner Carpenter, and Commissioner Fonoff in support. And, sorry, Commissioner Collins and Commissioner Allen against.
So in order for a resolution to pass, you need 4 votes of the planning commission. So it failed 3-2. Correct.
All right. Got it. Thank you so much. Okay. I guess I'll offer now again, if there's some resolution that we want to write to send to the assembly and say, hey, here's what our problems were. Maybe if you had this fix or that fix, we could do that now. Or we could potentially punt that to a later date. What would you say, Mr. Strawn?
Well, this was referred for 90 days. I'm going to ask the clerk if you have an idea of when this is due back to the assembly. I think she can pull that up. Just a moment.
Sorry, I should say on the record. My thinking is that with a little more time, rather than just haphazardly trying to throw something together right now, we can kind of get our intent together.
Yeah, we probably have some time.
Okay.
And we'll verify that, but absolutely, if you want to take this up at a different meeting, then, I mean, I guess there's a couple different ways you can do it. One is to send your rationale to the clerk as to why you didn't support this ordinance, and then we can put that together in a resolution that we can bring before the commission. Now it can get strange and weird if, at another meeting, we have additional planning commissioners that were not part of this that might feel differently. So just so you know, that's something we would have to navigate.
I mean, obviously this is on the record, and the assembly can watch this and listen to all the comments and listen to the public comments and all of the letters that we received in opposition that are all in the record. So I know they like it if we write up something formal and send back to them, but we're not necessarily obligated to do that. So we can just move on, I suppose. That might be what we need to do too, because I'm not sure we're at a consensus of here's the improvements that we want to make. We have some ideas about that, but I'm not sure we really have a consensus about that. So at this stage, we had an up or down on what was presented to us, and we voted again. So
Go ahead.
Commissioner McCabe, so we voted, and 2 people voted against passing it, and 3 of us voted to pass it. And I just want to explain my rationale for voting for it. I'm very much a student of the law, having worked in, writing the laws, interpreting the laws, and enforcing the laws. And this, to me, is pretty straightforward. It says that this kind of violates the consistency standard for conditional use permits. So despite all of the emotion that could have compelled me to have a vote just like yours, I did my decision based on the rule of law. And I understand where people are coming from. I totally empathize and understand what they're saying about having worked so hard on their conditional use permits. But when the law is the law, you can't just change it by how you feel.
If I may, Mr. Chair. So we've run into this before where we don't have a full board, and it takes 4 votes to adopt a resolution, right? So it can be tough to get 4 votes to agree on something. And so the way we've tackled it in the past is we've crafted a resolution that said the board met and heard the issues. Here's how, there was a resolution before us for approval. We failed to adopt it at this, 3-2. The members that were present expressed their rationale for how they voted, and then it specifically listed the rationale of each of the commissioners. And that way, everybody could agree that is how the commission felt, and that's why the commission voted the way they did. So you can usually get, unanimous support for a resolution of that nature that sort of just expresses how everybody individually felt and how they came to the vote they came to.
That's fine. Do you want to help us craft something like that?
I'd be happy to if we want to roll up our sleeves and do it. Happy to.
Sure.
Okay. So this, I guess, I'm going to hear from the clerk. First of all, did we get a date for when this comes back? Not yet. Okay. We are going to need a new number. So if we could take like a 5-minute recess, we can get organized here, and then
Absolutely.
We can start doing it here.
5-minute recess. Totally reasonable.
Thanks.
Come back online at 7:10. Let's do another, so 15, so let's say at 7:25, we'll come back to work. Thanks.
This is allowed, right? Yeah. There's probably a quicker way there. Thank you, Lana. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's about 60%. I'm gonna give you a story.
I know. Well, you know, because like the old. Yeah. It'll say 24 hours.
Okay, it's now 7:25, and Mr. Strawn.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. So we have a new resolution in front of us. It is now Resolution 26-04, and I think I need to read the entire thing.
Okay, please.
And so I'll read it, and then, of course, discussion and amendments can follow. So, a resolution of the Matanuska-Susitna Borough Planning Commission recommending failure of an ordinance repealing a general standard of MSB 17.30 conditional use permit for earth material extraction activities. Whereas Assembly Ordinance 26-021 repeals MSB 1730.060A1, and the Planning Commission reviewed the ordinance and held a public hearing on a resolution in support of the ordinance. And following the public hearing, the Planning Commission failed to garner the votes necessary to recommend approval of the ordinance. And the Commission was divided on the matter, and the final vote was 3-2, with Commissioners Carpenter, McCabe, and Fonov in support, and Commissioners Collins and Allen against. Whereas rationale for the votes in favor are as follows. Within Title 17, earth material extraction is the only conditional use permit subject to a specific comprehensive plan consistency standard. Alaska Statute 2940.040A provides that comprehensive plans are to be implemented through the adoption of land use regulations. The borough's comprehensive plans are adopted as guiding policy documents and are not self-implementing. The existing standard effectively assigns the comprehensive plan a regulatory role beyond its intended purpose. The proposed ordinance removes this standard while maintaining the intent and operation of the borough's established conditional use review process. The proposed ordinance supports the goals and objectives of the comprehensive plan. I think that one should probably go because you could say that for both sides. Take that out. And then whereas rationale for votes against are as follows. The proposed change is unnecessary. The current process respects local communities' work in developing comprehensive plans. The unique nature of gravel pits warrants additional scrutiny. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Matanuska-Susitna Borough Planning Commission hereby recommends failure of Assembly Ordinance 26-021, then adopted by the Matanuska-Susitna Borough Planning Commission on this day.
So, Commissioner Collins, you weren't here really to be able to chime in on the drafting of this. Is there anything you'd like to add or say about that?
No, not at this time.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, so the process then,
amendments, or if there's no objection.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any objection to the resolution that Alex just drafted for us?
Can you go scroll down to the?
To those that,
Could you scroll down to the, for those of us who were for it?
yeah. So what I did is I just took the stated whereases that were in the original resolution, and I put them into this one.
Okay.
So I can read them again if you want me to.
No, it's okay. I was just curious.
Okay. Yep.
Anything else? Any other matters? Okay. Any objection to what Mr. Strawn's put together for a resolution for us? All right. Seeing and hearing no objection, the amended resolution 26-01, is that what we're calling it, or is there
2604.
26-04 has been adopted. All right. Moving on to item 11, correspondence and information. None. Unfinished business. None. New business. None. Commission business. None. Director and commissioner comments. I'll start down at this end. Commissioner Fonov, any comments tonight?
Just one. It's great that people braved the horrible weather outside to come out and voice their opinion, especially people in person as well. Thank you.
Commissioner Carpenter.
I'd second that with the weather. It's nice to see the public coming and getting involved. This was a good one. I appreciate the input, and yeah, it was a good evening.
Commissioner McCabe.
Just thanks for the staff's work on this, and it's a good conversation and lots to mull over. Thanks.
Commissioner Collins.
Thanks to all the staff efforts and everyone participating in today's meeting. I appreciate everyone. Thank you.
I would echo the sentiment that I appreciate staff's work on this, and thank you, Mr. Strawn, for helping us here get this together. You know, one of the things that I've always been really proud of with this body, and I'm the old timer here, but whatever the makeup of this group has been in the many years that I've been here, we all come from different backgrounds. We all have different experiences. We all have different types of education and expertise. But we always work together in a respectful, productive way. And that can't be said for every level of government. And I just, you know, it's a pleasure to come and work with you folks, and everybody's thoughtful about what they do, even if we don't always agree on everything. And we shouldn't. It would be problematic if we simply all agreed about everything. And what would be the purpose of being here and having these discussions? So I think, you know, again, we did some business for the people today, and I think we did it in a way that we can be proud of, and that's a good thing. So anyway, anything last from staff before we adjourn?
Yeah, I just want to say, I know it's hard to believe, but very soon here on the south side of buildings in Palmer, there's going to be green grass and dandelions popping up. And we are hoping in about a month's time to be putting on a first time ever annual spring training for developers, real estate agents, builders. It's just going to be all about borough regulations, what to look for, how to navigate them. We are putting together a curriculum. We hope, probably not this year, but we hope next year to be actually certified with the state of Alaska, so that continuing education credits can be obtained through this training as well. And we're hoping it will just further educate people on how to navigate borough rules and develop responsibly.
Great, thank you so much. All right, well, if there's nothing else, I will call this meeting adjourned at 7:32.
The conference has ended. You will now be disconnected. Goodbye.